So as we all face closer and closer to the doomsday clock, I have been thinking about religion. Now, anybody that knows me, I'm not a religious man at all. I am not a zealot. I don't believe in anything spiritual. I'm a very nihilistic human being. I believe that we have no purpose in this world. We're just meant to grow and die after we're born. And I mean, say what you want about that. You can call me a pessimist. You can call me emo. You can say whatever you want. But it's the truth. It's the closest thing to a truth of reality that we have that we can at least acknowledge. That's my personal belief right there. And I have been thinking about some biblical stuff because I talk about this stuff at work with my boss all the time. I have a boss and she's extremely religious, and literally any conversation we have is going to go back to something about the Bible, something about God, something about Jesus, something about angels. And it's had me thinking a lot. Now, it's not making me sway towards finding religion, finding faith, or whatever, but I have been thinking about the four horsemen of the apocalypse, and I've actually listed them out, what I believe the four horsemen of the actual apocalypse are. And you can call me crazy if you want, that's fine, I really don't care, but this is how I really see it because of the way the world is right now. So, number one, we have Hollywood. Hollywood likes to influence everything that we have going on. They like to be the ultimate naysayers. They want to be the ones that, lead by example. We're supposed to look up to these celebrities. They're supposed to be awe-inspiring. Their relationships, what they eat, how much they exercise, how beautiful they are. And they also tell you what to fucking think. And it's annoying. That's part of the reason why I think it was a good idea that Elon got Twitter. Because, we got them and the politicians and they, the check marks, and all they do is just tell you what to think and feel. And you shouldn't do that. You should be able to come up with that yourself. The second one is the mainstream media. Now, very similar to Hollywood, the mainstream media is going to be basically what's supposed to be expected of you to think. They're going to tell you exactly how you're supposed to feel about things. They're going to control the narrative. They're probably the worst offenders of this, personally, out of the four. They're going to lie and deceive. They're going to not tell you the full truth and how things are. Give you an example. They'll say some shit. They don't say it like this, but this is how they mislead you. Did you know that less than 10 billion people die every year from shark attacks? Technically, they're not lying, but, it's also not truthful at the same time. On average, I think it's like 10 people die a year from shark attacks. I might be wrong, but it's somewhere around that general number. But see what did you see what I did? Less than 10 billion. It's not law, or, it's not wrong, it's not infactual, but, I mean, it's technically lying, in a way. It's just a way to mislead you. Number three, we have the President of the United States. Now, whether it's Republican or if it's Democrat, they're usually gonna cause some kind of division amongst, Americans. And I'm speaking about this whole thing generally from an American viewpoint. I don't know shit about the rest of the world. I don't care about the rest of the world. I live here. This is my country. This is my home. This is what I focus on. Now, the president, this is why I kind of like Trump a little bit. Like, everyone's like, oh, MAGA supporter. I'm not a MAGA supporter. I don't wear the fucking hat. I'm not going to go to a rally or anything like that. But I do believe in free speech. I do believe in a lot of the stuff he was going for. I do think we should put our country first because, I live in this country. I don't think any other country should be outperforming mine because I live here. I would like my country to thrive and, prosper or whatever. But then you got Joe Biden, you had Obama, we had George Bush, we had Bill Clinton. George Bush Sr., that was the first president whenever I was first born, but I was too young to remember him. But we had every president lately has just been fucking shit. We have not had a fantastic get-goer, I guess. I mean, controversial opinion, I think Trump was the closest one we had to a good point. I liked a lot of the stuff he was saying, but, then immediately as soon as Biden takes office, everything goes fucking backwards. It's like we were trying to take a step forward, we took 10 steps back. And the 10 steps back actually caused us to spend like 10 times more money. So, we're cutting out the middle class. On top of that, he's a propaganda machine. The president is always going to be a propaganda machine. They're going to fuel things, which is funny because that's the one thing I will say about Trump again. He fought the machine, and you gotta admire that. That's the whole reason everyone was losing their shit with him. It's because he couldn't be controlled. And I like the cowboy of the I listen to no one. I do my own thing. I'm my own man. I respect that because that's how I am. Biden's definitely not helping. So it's because of things like this is why I would consider the president being on one of the four horsemen. Now you might be wondering, who is the final one, Bazzbe? Who is the fourth horseman of the apocalypse? Because we got Hollywood, we got mainstream media, we got the president of the United States. The most powerful man in the world, the leader of the free world. Number 4 is us. Through social media. Social media is one of the most cancerous fucking things that has ever existed. The whole point is for us to all come together, add each other, connect to people around the world. It's cool. Never before in time have we ever been able to just talk to people like this. I remember I dated a girl in Italy, and I had to communicate with her through fucking PayPal phones. Like, not PayPal, but like these like little cards you would get from a gas station, and you buy them for $20, and you get like an hour's worth of conversation. I did this for like 6 weeks, right? I know I was really, really young when I did this, but now with social media, I could just talk to her on Facebook if I ever connected with her again. It's just we have this much power now at our fingertips, and we just kind of take it for granted. We don't really think too much on it. It's like, oh, it's just a phone. Well, your phone is actually more powerful than whatever fucking technology we allegedly used to get to the moon. I say allegedly because that's a whole different topic I could talk about. I have some thoughts about that. Not too much on the conspiracy, but a lot on the conspiracy. But we wield the most powerful computer in our hand that goes into our back pocket. We don't think anything of it. We toss it on our beds when we get home. And that little device connects us to everything through social media. And it's not just one social media. We have dozens of social media. And most of these apps do the exact same thing, but we all download them anyways because we just think like, oh god, I gotta go see what my friend's saying on Snapchat. Go straight to Instagram. Okay, they're posting this picture. Go to Facebook. There's the same photo, but I can comment on it a little bit differently and then put a different emoji instead of a heart symbol. It's like that. Twitter has become cancerous up until very recently. Now it's become more fun, but it's still a plague on society. I think social media is definitely the worst part, the worst offender, and we are all to blame for that one. We are all connected. We can't share ideas. We can't have proper conversations with people. I fight with people a lot. I do this a lot. I wouldn't say it's annoying for me. It's actually a lot of fun for me to do it, but I'd actually rather just talk things out. But usually people are too much of a bitch, I guess you could say. They're too much of a pussy to actually interact with you properly and have a civil debate. Like, I like to tease and poke fun like anyone else does. It's fun. It's really addicting to do so. The whole point is like getting a rise out of whoever you're talking to, and that's what makes everything fun, But I would also like to just like get over that shit and be like, hey, let's talk and exchange some words here. But usually people are just trying to one up each other because, on the internet, everyone on the internet tries to pretend that we're really smarter than we really are. We have to, oh, you can't spell your. You spelled it like Y-O-U-R. Like, I don't know, there's like 3 different ways to spell that word. You didn't use spell check. I'm instantly smarter than you. It's the most cancerous thing. I don't know, but these are the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, in my opinion. As just to review them all again, we got Hollywood, mainstream media, the president of the United States, and social media. Cancer, 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 all 4 of them. They're all just a big tumor that's going to get us all nuked, and we're so close to the doomsday clock. Now, it's a metaphor, of course. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen, but it's very dangerously close, and we're getting to the point now where we're like pissing Russia off more and more. And I think at the point Vladimir Putin's really got nothing else to lose, and it's, I live in LA. I live in one of the major cities. If he was to nuke the US, I would die. I would 100% die, because I believe it'd probably be New York and Washington DC first, and then probably LA, because LA is the second biggest city in the United States. I kind of wish I was living back in Texas because I would not have to worry about this. They're not going to nuke the fucking countryside. Realistically, there's just a waste of money and a waste of resources. Like in the town I grew up, it was like 20,000 people. Like, what are you gaining from that? Also, if I lived in Texas again, I'd feel a lot more safer because everyone has a gun, and I doubt if Russia did invade us, they're not gonna make it too far into Texas. Literally everyone and their grandma has a gun out there. I never felt so safe, you know? Come to California, I don't really feel safe. You got a bunch of these like beta males out here that just want to burn shit down, and they're mad, and they want to spit at you and get mad because you're wearing the wrong kind of hat, and it's just the most lacking of testosterone I've ever seen outside of like some of the people I deal with in social media or like on forum posting or Twitter. As of lately, it's been like WoW posting or WoW forums. It's just like these are like the biggest fucking losers I've ever met, and it's just infuriating. But yeah, 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Let me know what you think. If you have one that you would want to interchange out, let me know. Maybe I might agree with you, but until then, stay safe.